So I finished my new socks. These are knitted in Garnsur, which is a Norwegian yarn company. I think they've stopped trading now. They were employing refugee women who came to Norway, not being able to speak Norwegian, and they were teaching them Norwegian and helping them to integrate into Norwegian society. But the funding for that kind of program has apparently changed. So I think they've actually stopped trading, but these are really, really bright. I had actually planned to use them for a shawl with another colour, but I decided I fancied a pair of bright socks. So the pattern is my Aventuras pattern, knitted toe up with a wedge toe. Then I did this 5-round alternating rib all the way up. And then I did an afterthought swirly heel, which I really, really like. So yeah, I'm really happy with them. I did about 60 rounds of the alternating rib on the leg and then 30 rounds of just a plain rib. Yeah, I like them. Very happy with them. Hello, so I hope you enjoyed a little peek at my new socks. So that was pair number 6 out of 20 this year. So I've knitted 6 pairs of socks this year, and my goal is to knit 20 pairs of socks in 2020. So those socks were knitted in Garnsur, which is a Norwegian company. And they're certainly very, very bright. They're as bright as they look, but I quite enjoyed knitting them. So welcome to the lockdown diaries. Today is day 41 of the UK lockdown, and my name is Anniken and I live in Cornwall in the southwest of England. So today I thought I would show you some new stuff that's arrived and some other socks I got on the needles. I haven't my design mojo has been a little bit lacking in the last few weeks. I've designed one shawl for the Mystery Knit Along, which I've actually finished now. So the Spring Mystery Knit Along, I'll be releasing the final part next week, Monday or Tuesday. I finished it on Friday, I think it was. So I'm going to actually, after I finish filming this, I'm going to go downstairs and block it and film a little blocking tutorial while I'm doing that. And I've also been working on another shawl for a magazine, which deadline is week after next, I think, so which I also finished this morning. So I'm going to block that tomorrow. That's the only new thing I've designed in the last month, and I now I got no new design project on the needles. I got 3 pairs of socks on the needles, and I've got a brioche project, which is the brioche lockdown school project by Robin Weldon, I think it is, which I started a few weeks ago, and I haven't really done that much on for the last couple of weeks, so I might try and catch up a bit with that. Start trying to do a little bit on that every day again, because I think the last clue of that may have been released already. But I really need to get another design on the needles. I do have a few things that I'd like to design. I just need to decide what to design first, and what yarn to use. I'm also waiting for some new yarn to arrive for the Yarn Addict online shop, and some of those I have kind of earmarked for new designs, so I need to kind of wait till that yarn arrives, which I'd hope would have been end of last week, end of this week, like Friday, but hopefully it'll be here next week, so then I can get on with something else. But I may have to have a look through my yarn in a minute and see if I can decide something else, because I really feel like I should be casting on something else, casting on a new design. So anyway, I've got some socks on the go, so I'll show you those first, and then I'll show you some new arrivals. So this pair of socks, that's how much I've knitted. This is, hang on, let me grab the yarn. This is Signature 4-ply from West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's the colourway, hang on, where's the colourway? Okay, so on the label it says 06872, so I'm not sure it is colourway 06 or 872. Anyway, it's really a pretty colourway. I wound the wool into 2 halves. It came in a big wool, kind of that kind of size, which I find really nuisance to knit from, because it doesn't fit into my small sock project bag. So I wound it into 2 halves, and then I only have to carry 1 half at a time. So the plan was with this pair of socks was to have them as my kind of queuing project and knit them when I was queuing for the supermarket or chemist and things like that. But since I cast them on, I haven't actually been doing very much queuing. Been to the supermarket a couple of times, but there's not been a queue. I went last Sunday to one of the local supermarkets and there was no queue at all. And then I popped into another small supermarket for a couple of things middle of the week, and I only had to wait for a couple of minutes. So I haven't done much queuing, so I've mainly been knitting on these when I've been editing videos. I'm working on a new online class, so I've been doing a lot of video editing, so I have been knitting on these while editing. So it's kind of been sitting on my desk. Because it's just stocking stitch, I can knit on that while keeping an eye on what's happening on the screen. So I love the colours, really pretty. Emily saw them and said, were they for her? But no, they're for me. I do have another pair of socks on the go for Emily, which is downstairs, which I cast them for a few years ago, I think. And I found them the other day, and I'm about halfway down the leg. I'm doing them 2 at a time, but halfway down the leg. And then I must have got bored with them, put them away and forgotten about them. So I might get those out and finish those. I also cast them for another pair of socks after I finished the Garden Studio ones, the ones I showed you at the beginning. I cast them for another pair of socks for Simon. And I knitted a lot of these over the weekends. The first one is nearly finished. I think I have like 2 or 3 rounds left to go. Let's have a look. I've got 3 rounds left to go. And then the first sock will be finished, apart from putting in the afterthought heel. So the yarn is Regia Perfect, which is Regia Perfect design line by Anna and Carlos. That's what the picture looks like on the socks. I'm knitting them toe up, and I had that big long blue section. I think because I looked on the back of the label, which tells you how you're supposed to use this yarn. And I think the idea is that obviously you knit them top down, but I knit them on toe up. But I think the idea is that you start and you knit the cuff in the blue, and then I suppose you're supposed to cut the yarn. So you get the colour down the leg, and then where that blue section is where the heel's supposed to go. But I knitted them toe up, and I don't really want to cut the yarn either. So I've got quite a big blue section here, and then the pattern, which is fine. I've used this yarn before for a pair of socks for Emily a few years ago, and I had the same thing happen there. There was a big long blue section at the top and then patterning on the foot, which is fine. If you want them to look exactly like the socks on the label, then there is the thing on the back that tells you how to achieve that. But I'm not that bothered, and I'm not going to break the yarn just to make it fit a certain way. Anyway, I wanted to share with you some stuff that arrived this week. So last weekend was Wonderwool, virtual Wonderwool, which I took part in as a seller. And thank you to all of those who ordered. I had a boost in orders, which was lovely. But I also browsed some of the other stall holders and ordered a couple of things. So first to arrive a couple of days ago was a parcel from the Knitting Gift Shop. I've had stall next to them, opposite them at a few shows, seen them at a few shows. So I was keen to support them. I got this wooden tin of stitch markers. You can see them. There's still the silver coloured stitch markers. There's a selection of ones. So some have got like a little bead on them. There are some hexagon ones. There are some padlock ones. So it's just there's some heart-shaped ones. There's just a selection of stitch markers really. And I'm a bit short on stitch markers at the moment, so I thought that was a good idea to get. And then I also, because I love scissors, I got a pair of scissors. So they're quite pretty. Quite big, but I really like those. They're very pretty. So I like those. You'll be seeing those popping up in a few photos, I expect. And then they also popped in a little free gift, which is on their website it's listed as a shawl clip, but it looks like that. And you can use it to clip shawls, wraps, cardigans. This is a cardigan that I bought, I don't know where, it's not a hand knitted one. Hang on, let me put this slightly further up so you can actually see what it looks like. But you can basically, like this cardigan doesn't have buttons, so you can, I mean, I wouldn't have it this far up, I would have it kind of below my bust, but you can basically just clip things together. I wore it yesterday when I wore this cardigan, and this one has got like roses. It's like a kind of ornate roses. I don't know if you can see it, but it's really pretty, and I think it's a really good idea. It came in a lovely little gift box, so it's a great thing to get as a gift as well. And it's not something that's specific to knitters, because you can use it on commercial cardigans. A lot of cardigans are just open fronted, so it's a really good idea for that. So I really like that idea, and I looked on their website. They have a few other designs. I may get another one at some point, we'll see. So that was from the knitting gift shop. Thank you very much to Trisha and Ian for that lovely little gift as well. And I love the scissors and the stitch markers. And then I got this beautiful skein of sock yarn from Orchidean Yarns. Their website is Luxury Yarns. It's called Platinum Sock, Let There Be More Light, and it's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And it is really, really pretty. Love those bright splashes of colour. Be interested to see how that knits up with the grey. I don't know whether to do socks with them or whether to do something else with them. Probably do socks. But I really love those splashes of colour against the grey. So that's really, really pretty. Some darker grey and some lighter grey. So I'm looking forward to knitting with that. And then earlier in the week I saw a post by Fab Funky Fibres. They'd had a website update, and I love their yarn. They are one of the best self-striping yarn companies around, so I got a set of self-striping yarn from them. You could buy them in 50 grams, so you can either buy one or you can buy two. And if you buy one set of 50 grams, you could either do like contrasting heels and toes and cuffs, or you can do trainer socks. So I did a pair of trainer socks the other week out of 50 grams, but I got two, so I can do a full pair of socks. And it's really pretty, very sugary, summery, pretty. So yeah, I'm looking forward to knitting those at some point. On their website it shows how they stripe up. They also came with 2 free colouring things, which is quite cute. I guess that's probably what it's inspired by, I don't know. But yeah, and then on the label it's got like a little padlock stitch marker, one on each label. That's quite a nice touch as well. So a little bit new sock yarn, but I am getting through socks at the moment. So that came Friday and yesterday, so that was lovely to have a bit of a treat. Anyway, I hope you're doing well wherever in the world you are. Leave me a comment and tell me what you're knitting at the moment. Do you like knitting socks? Do you think 20 socks in a year is crazy? I'm starting to think maybe it is. I knitted 18 pairs of socks last year, which is why I thought 20 this year was okay. Last year my goal was 12 pairs of socks, so 1 per month, and I did 18. But I did a lot of socks in the early part of last year and less towards the end of the year. And then this year I got off to a really bad start. I think by the end of March I was only like, I'd only knitted like 2 pairs of socks. So I am doing a lot better now. I'm catching up a little bit. But do you think 20 pairs this year? Do you think I'll do it? I must admit I wasn't sure a month ago, but I'm thinking now maybe I will. But tell me what you like knitting, and also tell me what do you think I should design next, because I really need to decide what I want to design next. And I don't know. So tell me, what shall I design next? Anyway, stay safe, and I will leave you with a little clip from a walk on the moors yesterday. Vanessa and I took Alfie up on our dog Alfie up on the moors for a walk. It's about 15 minutes drive from where we live, and there was hardly any people around. You could see a few people in the distance. There was only about 4 cars in the car park, so it's much easier to keep away from other people than it is in town. So I'll leave you with a little clip of that, and I'll see you in a few days. Alfie.